Ladies and gentlemen, Rex Bear League Project, how the heck are you? Getting ready to go live. Beautiful day out here in San Antonio. I just have to hit a couple more buttons before we get started. So stand by. Here we go. Fortunately, I'm still here. I still have internet. I did sleep with one eye open last night. It was a bit of a trip. Here we go. Mute button. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody being here. Life is certainly trippy sometimes, isn't it? I mean, you become an independent reporter, you go out on scene, and then you get kicked out. What a trip. But I will tell you this. It was all fun and games at first with one of the officers that I talked to, and then just out of nowhere, things go down. But here's the deal. It could have just been a concerned citizen that said something to an officer and said, hey, look, there's a independent reporter over there filming stuff. What's he doing? And because of the turmoil and because of what was going on at the time, obviously a very small town and a mass shooting where the narrative says 26 people were shot and killed and 24 injured. That's 50 people. It was originally more than that, but they lowered the numbers. You can watch all of the YouTube videos, every sermon they have at the First Baptist Church. It's on YouTube. Watch the videos. I can't even see 50 people in these videos. It looks like there's about 2 or 3 dozen people. So now the story is somebody that was in the Air Force that basically got kicked out, dishonorable discharge, because he was beating on his wife and kids, decides to join Antifa and ISIS and go shoot up a church. That very well could have happened. Now, other factions within the system will do their very best to take this crisis and use it to their advantage. Now, my question is, do you believe the official story? Do you believe what the media is telling you? Do you believe that a lone gunman that recently converted to Antifa and ISIS went to a church, shot everybody there, injured everybody, or killed somebody, killed half the people there and then injured the other half, then escapes, and then gets chased down by a guy and another guy, gets chased down by 2 guys. One of the names was given, the driver. The name of the driver that supposedly chased this guy when he left the location, when he left the church, that has a whole bunch of holes in it too. I'm gonna read the reports on that, but let's just take a look at this for a minute. That was my quick rant. I'll have plenty more. On November 5th, 2017, Devin Patrick Kelly shot and killed at least 26 people and injured 24 at the First Baptist Church. Kelly died afterwards. It is the deadliest mass shooting in Texas history. Now, if I click on the next link will tell me that this person was mad at his mother-in-law. He threatened his mother-in-law, and he was ready for war. He was ready for battle. When I went there yesterday, once again, people kept saying, Rex, why'd you take down the video? Rex, why'd you take down the video? Well, if you got followed by cars after you left, if you got threatened the way that you did, and if you weren't expecting something, would you leave that video up? You might leave that video up. And I want to put the video up again, but the video is not there anymore. The video is gone. There was plenty of people that saw the video. You guys saw what happened. You guys can make up your own mind, make up your own conclusion. I've been attacked for taking the video down. I've been attacked for putting the video up. I've been attacked for having my own opinion. I went there with my wife yesterday, and we're walking away. We're walking out of there. She's got 3 cops following her saying, are you with that guy? And she said, yeah. And then they acted like they were confused, like they didn't know what to do after that. They didn't physically remove her from the location. So yeah, it did. it startled me a little bit. And there might be plenty of you out there that there's one guy that actually left in the comment section. He said, "Gee, Rex, I used to like you until I saw that you got spooked. Why don't you stick to your garage and do conspiracy videos on UFOs? Unsubscribed." And then somebody even said, "Oh, Rex, I see that you're not a threat to the government. Unsubscribed." Okay. First of all, I don't want to be a threat to the government. Do you want to be a threat to the government? Is that a good idea? Do you really want to be a threat to the government? And if you do, why? It's not the government I'm worried about. It's the psychopaths that hide in the shadows, that manipulate the government. Those are the people you might want to be a little bit more concerned about, in my opinion. So we should have our First Amendment. We should have the opportunity. Should we not have the opportunity to question authority, to go on scene? If you're in an area that's public, should you not have the opportunity to record a public place, interview people that were at an event, at a mass shooting, to find out the official narrative? So the guy that supposedly did these shootings, wow, unbelievable. The guy that supposedly did these shootings makes a perfect patsy for the narrative. Hey, this guy might have been a psychopath. This guy I'm losing my train of thought here. This person may have very well been a Antifa ISIS terrorist. It just seems a little bit too perfect for the official narrative, in my opinion. Now, there's also reports that several days ago, there were warnings that there was going to be a mass shooting at a small church in Texas. I haven't been able to confirm this yet. And I don't even know if I'm still on the air right now, because my computer is saying that I'm disconnected from the internet. So I don't even know if I'm still online right now. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So there you have it. Don't question too much, because you might have people start following you around because you want to know the truth. And if you get a little bit spooked, and you still tell people about it, and you still put your heart on your sleeve, and you still put your life on the line to expose psychopaths, you're still going to have other psychopaths that are going to come out of the woodwork and attack you because you get a little bit spooked out. It's like, can't win if you do, can't win if you don't. So what do? You follow the narrative? You lick the Borg's boots? Is that what you do? Maybe I should just lick the Borg's boots. Maybe that would be better. I'd probably get a lot more views. I'd probably have 1 million subscribers. I can just do cute puppy videos. How about that? At least I went there. At least I spent my time and my money to see what was going on. And I shared it with you guys. And for those of you that did see the live stream, you know exactly where I'm coming from. Somebody left another comment on my channel and said, "Rex, you've been 86th. Here's what real reporting looks like." And it was an article. It was a video. It was about seven minutes that InfoWars did today out there. And hey, good for them. I like InfoWars. I like Alex Jones. I think those guys are great. Matter of fact, they get way too much crap from people. They're not perfect either. They have their problems just like everybody else. But look at all the people that have been warned about the psychopaths out there and the crap that's put in your food, your water, the chemical trails, the vaccine dangers. Alex Jones has been exposing that stuff for years. He's been exposing that stuff for decades. Yet he's still got 1 million trolls out there, people that are attacking him constantly. Hey, I get it. I'll get attacked for saying I like Alex Jones. I just can't wait to read the comments. "Oh, Rex, you're a shill. Oh, you're a Jesuit CIA reptilian shill." Yeah, living in grandma's garage. Okay. And no, this isn't really grandma's garage, but this is my garage. And I would probably have a nicer studio if I work for an alphabet agency. Or am I just so deep state that I'm looked at as a crazy conspiracy theorist on Leak Project? Yeah, that must be it. They're that good. Yet they can't even come up with the storyline that doesn't get picked apart when they create a mass casualty drill. Or when they, I shouldn't say when they create it, when they narrate it. When they narrate it. There's probably a cleanup crew out there that's on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that if something goes down, like what happened in Texas, let's say that it really was a lone gunman, homegrown terrorist, gone rogue, gone psycho. Let's say that's the case. Let's say that's the narrative. Do you think that there's maybe a cleanup crew that's on call waiting for something like that to happen? So when it does, they can go on scene, they can control the narrative, they can be the ones talking to the media, they can be the ones creating the entire story. I've gotten texts and calls from people that I know personally that used to work for the FBI that warned me about this months ago, saying you're going to see more events like what happened in Vegas. They're going to try and clean up the narrative. Be prepared. Whatever. I guess it just goes along with the territory that if you are somebody waking up the masses, and if you're putting yourself on the line, then you got to be prepared to put up with these trolls out there that are just so mighty and big behind the computer screen on their keyboard that they can be whoever they want. But what are those people really like in person? You ever wonder what some of these people are like that leave these sick, nasty, vile comments that have no validation but their own projections? You ever wonder what those people are like in real life? Do you know that the pastor of that church was actually out of town? He and his wife were out of town, and his daughter was at church that day, yesterday, and their daughter was killed while they were out of town. The pastor was out of town. Isn't that bizarre that that's the day that it happens? Should you question the official narrative? Should you question the official 50, the number 50? When you can watch YouTube videos. They do YouTube videos every week at that church. It doesn't look like there's even 50 people that go there, max. And then you can read the report. You can watch this guy that supposedly picked up another guy that was shooting at the gunman. Then they chase him down, going 95 miles an hour in a car, weaving in and out of traffic. And then you listen to this guy talk about how he picked this person up. He doesn't give him his name. Where's the guy that was supposedly picked up? Where's he at? They don't even say his name. They don't talk about who he is as a person. They just say this guy that was shooting at this other guy, at the perpetrator. Well, I picked him up and then we chased him down. Listen to the way that he tells the story. Do you study psychology, neurolinguistic programming? Do you know how to study people and their body language? Do you know how to look for eye movements? If somebody's right-handed or left-handed, if they look up and to the left, are they recreating something that they've seen before? Or are they making something up that they've never seen before? If they look down and to the right, are they talking to themselves? What about if they're left-handed? What happens if they start, kind of itching their neck a little bit while you're talking to them, or maybe, scratching their ear a little bit? What happens if their arms are crossed? What does that mean? Do you know these things? Do you know what to look for? Or are you just spewing verbal vomit on somebody's YouTube channel because you think you have all the answers because you heard something on somebody's do some research yourself. I've been studying body language and neurolinguistic programming now for 15 years. I had to know what somebody was thinking in my previous job. Otherwise, I would have went broke. I had to be able to have a conversation with somebody. Whether they worked for the CDC or they worked at a convenience store or they were a manager at a grocery store. I know how to read people. Do you watch these? And here's another thing too. When I see everybody that gets interviewed via brain drain media, and they seem like they're acting, they seem like they're not emotional. And then when they are emotional, it looks like they're making themselves cry. I question that too. And then people will attack me for that and saying, oh, not everybody cries when they lose a loved one. I get it. You're absolutely right. But don't most people have emotions and reactions? Wouldn't you say that percentage-wise more people than not have a reaction or a response. So when you continue to watch these official narratives and you continue to see these vids, what are they called? Vigil. It's about to say Sidzil. When you see these vigils, I'm not even saying that word right. I'm so pissed off. Oh my gosh. Every time it's the same thing. It's the same narrative. And people are still sucking it down like they're sucking down their genetically modified E. coli feces, watching the brain drain news, attacking alternative media for helping people. It's disgusting. The powers that be don't even need to do anything because their minions that are under mind control are doing it for them. I appreciate constructive criticism. I respect that. It's the vile verbal vomit, the flatulation, flatulating wisdom. I was about to say flatulation. It's about as mind control as it gets as well. So how about if you're one of the people out there, like if let's say that you genuinely believe you're doing the right thing by trolling me or somebody else, hey, I respect that. If that's genuinely what you believe, why not look at an alternative and realize that people like you, like me, and like others that listen to Leak Project, that want to get to the truth, we want to wake people up, we want to help people out, we want a continuation of life. We do not want to have to live in a society ran by cyborgs and zombified caterpillars that are literally on 4 or 5 different pharmaceutical drugs or hormone enhancers to keep themselves freeze. What happened to compassion? What happened to helping your fellow man and woman? Whoa, man. What happened to helping out people? It's like attack, 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 bring down, bring down, bring down. Judge somebody by their fruit, by their actions. Well, I read on the internet this alternative media guy went out there and he's some crazy. And then people start saying, oh, Rex, the reason that cop went out and physically removed you was because you look like you're anti-fuck. Okay, this is an Air Force hat. This is an Air Force hat, okay? My shirt that was supposedly all black, it wasn't all black. It was like a designer shirt. And I don't even wear designer shirts. I usually wear Star Wars shirts. I could be out there wearing a Star Wars shirt like I'm wearing right now. Keep calm and join the dark side. That's what they want you to do. They want you to keep calm and join the dark side. Well, I will not assimilate. And, people give me a hard time about my logos and you've got an eyeball in your logo, Rex. What are you, a Luciferian? Hey. No, I'm not a Luciferian. Matter of fact, why give them so much credit? You have 2 eyeballs. Does that mean you have 2 Satans running around in your head? You can take a symbol and you can put good energy in it. You can put bad energy in it. What do you do on a daily basis to make a difference? How are you being the change? Or are you regurgitating verbal vomit from another repeater? Now, I'm also wanting to look at this from a very logical standpoint, because maybe that officer that physically escorted me out of there, even though other cops saw me go in there and they had no problems of me going in there, and one even heard me say I'm going live, no problems, it's cool. Maybe after that plainclothes guy came up and told me, hey, the media is not supposed to be here, maybe he was just maybe he knew somebody that was shot at that church, and he saw somebody going around recording things and it offended him. So he went and said something to a police officer, and that police officer was wanting to keep order. So he figured that he would physically escort me away. Okay. I mean, I'm not okay with that. I can understand it and I can see it, but I was in a public place. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was not, somebody made a comment about how I was on a crime scene. I was on a public street. There were other reporters there. There were plenty of other people there. somebody made a comment that as soon as I told the plainclothes guy that I was an independent reporter, that was the mistake that I made. And you could be right. By me saying that, then they're thinking, uh-oh, the official narrative, or, oh, wait, we've got a rogue in here, so let's go get him. Let's go get him out of here. Maybe they were just trying to keep order because they didn't want to see somebody recording somebody that just lost a loved one. Yet, if you're CNN, if you're Fox News, if you're any of the brain-drained media outlets, one of these top 6 corporate conglomerates, how come they can do it? Or are they just recording crisis actors? Are they just recording those out there that are playing the narrative? Once again, folks, I'm not saying nobody got killed. I'm not saying nobody got shot. Far from it. I'm just saying I feel that there is a controlled narrative out there that wants to control what you see and hear about these events. I also know somebody that used to work for the FBI that told me he feels the reason they're doing this, the reason they're actually making it so obvious, is because that it's not everything they're telling you is legit. It's because they're muddying the waters. They are stirring the pot. They are dividing the masses. They are dividing the intelligent from the sheep. They are dividing those that are awake from those that don't want to be awake. A lot of people, folks, have the opportunity to wake up. They don't want to. They do not want it. They can't handle it. They literally can't handle the truth. They cannot understand how the powers that be that are supposed to love them so much don't really love them so much. I mean, what happens when people realize that there was okay, let's just say that the Vegas shooting, let's just say that was a staged event. Let's just say that the Boston Marathon bombing was a staged event. Let's just say Sandy Hook was a staged event. What happens when people realize this and they wake up? What happens when people that are cutting your hair, like that time I told you the other day after the Vegas shooting, I got my hair cut. Worst haircut I've ever had in my life. Horrible. She cut my hair horrible. But I freaked her out because she asked me, she said, hey, what do you think about this whole Vegas situation? And I told her, I laid it on her. And by the time she got done cutting my hair, she was so freaked out, she probably didn't know what to think. But you know what? It was okay. I don't care if she cut my hair bad because at least I woke her up. And you know what? Imagine all the people now that will go get their hair cut by her. How many people is she going to wake up now and say something to? So just because I took a video down of me getting manhandled by a cop, physically escorted out of there, doesn't mean that I am, how do you call it? It's not censorship. I'm telling you all about it. You can probably find that video anyway somewhere on the web. It's probably still out there somewhere if you really want to see it. It's not that big of a deal. What is, in my opinion, a much bigger deal is I went there, I saw what happened, and now I know if you plan on going to one of these events, you better be prepared to be blindsided and get conflicting reports. Now I know. I went into the wolf's den and I got escorted out by a wolf. It's okay. It's all right. So my question is, what are you going to do about it? Now remember, the mind is mightier than the pen, and the pen is mightier than the sword. Use your mind, use your head. Don't do anything stupid. I would say knowledge is power. Knowledge is key. Being awake and aware and telling others how you truly feel is so important, because if you keep it in, if you keep it to yourself, then it's going to drive you crazy. How many people get dis-ease from stress? You know, stress is one of the number one killers. Unrelieved stress is one of the number one causes of dis-ease. Do you think that all the people out there that know about this kind of stuff, that just keep it to themselves, what do you think it does to them? How is that for your physical health when you know things are wrong and you're afraid to talk about it? Now, we can all get spooked once in a while. It happens to the best of us. If you're somebody out there that never gets spooked, hey, good for you. You're stronger than me. Maybe having a little bit of fear is a good thing, because maybe having a little bit of fear will keep you motivated and keep you on edge. I mean, if we were just, think about it, guys. People are like, oh, what about all the fear mongers out there? You fear mongers, you're a bunch of fear mongers. First of all, the brain trained media does a much better job creating fear than any alternative media that I know of. Fear, I think there's a big difference between a fear monger and somebody that knows how important certain emotions can be. Because if you live in a dilapidated state, let me ask you this. Let's say that you have absolutely no fear and you need to cross a street and there's cars going 80 miles an hour, semi trucks going 80 miles an hour. It's a major highway. You've got no fear whatsoever. So you're just going to run across that street real quick because you need to get to the other side. So then what? Boom! You get hit. No fear, baby. No fear. Now, when fear takes you over and fear controls you and fear literally decides where you're going to go and what you're going to do, then yes, that's a problem. Balance is key. Motivation is key. Having that desire is key. Once you lose that, if you don't have the desire anymore, you are a zombie. You have been assimilated. If you don't care, I truly feel for you. I truly feel for you. So with that said, figured I'd clear the water, just would clear the water today, ladies and gentlemen. And what do you think about your First Amendment rights? Do you feel that if there is a mass shooting 40 miles away from where you live, do you feel that you have the right as a human being to go there and find out what's going on? Do you have that right? And then, do you have a right to talk about it after the fact? I want to dig in today, this week. I want to bust out as many podcasts as I can. So if you have anything that you would like to discuss, I'm going to be back on here in a little bit. Please feel free to let me know in the comment section or at leakproject.com, leakproject.com. 1,400 podcasts on leakproject.com. Over 100 are exclusive to leakproject.com. Downloadable, streamable, ad-free at leakproject.com. I have a forum. It's going to be a blog/forum that is being designed right now for leakproject.com. I know a lot of people like to go and watch these shows just because of the comment section. I mean, there's some great intel in the comment section. So if you are an avid blogger, if you like to write more than you do talk, then you should definitely check out leakproject.com as well. This forum will be up soon. And we're going to get information from all around the world, not only visually, verbally, and on paper and in writing. So there you have it. Have an awesome day. Have an awesome day. Anybody that lives in Sutherland Springs, my heart goes out to you guys. Anybody that would be willing to come on the show that lives in Sutherland Springs, or maybe you have a family member that was shot. Maybe you were there. If you can come on the show and clean the air here and let us know what's really going on, that would be an honor. That would be an absolute honor to speak with you. And that would mean more to me than just about anything right now. And I'm sure the rest of the audience. So there you go. Be excellent to each other, you guys. Be the change you want to see. Do you believe that a lone gunman that recently converted to Antifa and ISIS went to a church, shot everybody there, injured everybody, or killed somebody, killed half the people there and then injured the other half, then escapes, and then gets chased down by a guy and another guy, gets chased down by two guys. One of the names was given, the driver, the name of the driver that supposedly chased this guy when he left the location, when he left the church. That has a whole bunch of holes in it too. I'm gonna read the reports on that, but let's just take a look at this for a minute. that was my quick rant. I'll have plenty more. Ladies and gentlemen, Rex Bear League Project, how the heck are you? Getting ready to go live. Beautiful day out here in San Antonio. I just have to hit a couple more buttons before we get started. So stand by. Here we go. Fortunately, I'm still here. I still have internet. I did sleep with one eye open last night. It was a bit of a trip. Here we go. Mute button. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody being here. Life is certainly trippy sometimes, isn't it? I mean, you become an independent reporter, you go out on scene, and then you get kicked out. What a trip. But I will tell you this. It was all fun and games at first with one of the officers that I talked to, and then just out of nowhere, things go down. But here's the deal. On November 5th, 2017, Devin Patrick Kelly shot and killed at least 26 people and injured 24 at the First Baptist Church. Kelly died afterwards. It is the deadliest mass shooting in Texas history. Now, if I click on the next link will tell me that this person was mad at his mother-in-law. He threatened his mother-in-law, and he was ready for war. He was ready for battle. When I went there yesterday, once again, people kept saying, Rex, why'd you take down the video? Rex, why'd you take down the video? Well, if you got followed by cars after you left, now the story is somebody that was in the Air Force that basically got kicked out, dishonorable discharge, because he was beating on his wife and kids, decides to join Antifa and ISIS and go shoot up a church. That very well could have happened. That very well could have happened. Now, other factions within the system will do their very best to take this crisis and use it to their advantage. Now, my question is, do you believe the official story? Do you believe what the media is telling you? It could have just been a concerned citizen that said something to an officer and said, hey, look, there's a independent reporter over there filming stuff. What's he doing? And because of the turmoil and because of what was going on at the time, obviously a very small town and a mass shooting where the narrative says 26 people were shot and killed and 24 injured. That's 50 people. It was originally more than that, but they lowered the numbers. You can watch all of the YouTube videos, every sermon they have at the First Baptist Church. It's on YouTube. Watch the videos. I can't even see 50 people in these videos. It looks like there's about 2 or 3 dozen people. So